Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Roxy. Huge thanks to Roxy and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Roxy reached out asking for a deck led by Gonti, Canny, Acquisitor, and I was more than happy to build that for her. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Gonti, Canny, Acquisitor is a 5-mana 5/5 legendary Aetherborn rogue. He makes it so that spells we cast but don't own cost 1 less to cast. Additionally, whenever one or more creatures we control deal combat damage to a player, we look at the top card of that player's library, then exile it face down. We may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. Okay, so the first thing I thought of when looking at Gonti was that we wanted a ton of ramp and creatures with avoidance. Not just unblockable creatures, but flyers as well. Creatures with avoidance should be obvious, but since we're going to be taking so many cards from our opponents, I wanted to ramp hard so we could cast all those spells when we steal them. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. I know I'm sponsored, so you may not believe me, but Ultimate Guard katanas are the best sleeves on the planet. They have gorgeous colors like these white ones, are durable and long-lasting, and an absolute joy to shuffle. Let Ultimate Guard protect your cards with katanas. Pick yours up at your local game store or order them on Amazon. Link down below. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lanes and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming with my son over on Musings by Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our land base consists of Command Tower, Verdant Catacombs, Misty Rainforest, Polluted Delta, Marsh Flats, Windswept Heath, Flooded Strand, Zagoth Triome, Overgrown Tomb, Breeding Pool, Watery Grave, Undergrowth Stadium, Rejuvenating Springs, Morphic Pool, Deathcap Glade, Dreamroot Cascade, Shipwreck Marsh, Woodland Cemetery, Hinterland Harbor, Drowned Catacomb, Underground Mortuary, Hedge Maze, Undercity Sewers, Bajuka Bog, 4 Swamps, 6 Forests, and 4 Islands. A pretty straightforward land base. For mana ramp, we're running Doc Arlock, Grizzled Genius, Savvy Trader, and Thieving Varmint as our thematic ramp, Deathrite Shaman for graveyard hate and ramp, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Chromatic Lantern as mana rocks, Dryad of the Elysian Grove for color fixing and extra lands, 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, Farseek, Kodama's Reach, and Skyshroud Claim for land ramp. A good mix of staples and thematic ramp. Our card advantage package consists of Baleful Strix, Muldrifter, Fairy Mastermind, Consecrated Sphinx, Ancient Silver Dragon, Hydroid Krasis, Smuggler's Copter, Defiler of Dreams, Shadow Mage Infiltrator, Oran Frostfang, Villainous Wealth, Rhystic Study, Coastal Piracy, Reconnaissance Mission, Bident of Thassa, and Demonic Tutor. A good mix of card draw, theft, and a tutor to find whatever we may need. For interaction and spot removal, we've got Hostage Taker, Dayuthi Voidwalker, Scavenging Ooze, Reclamation Sage, Ravenous Chupacabra, Acidic Slime, Noxious Gearhulk, Bane of Progress, Glissa Sunslayer, Commit Memory, Negate, Counterspell, Assassin's Trophy, Return to Nature, and Beast Within. A good mix of counterspells, spot removal, and graveyard hate. Our board wipes consist of Heartless Conscription, Blasphemous Edict, and Cyclonic Rift. Big fan of Heartless Conscription. That card is just mean. The core of our deck consists of Gonti, Lord of Luxury, Archon of Cruelty, Rankle, Master of Pranks, Alondra Skydreamer, Alcazot's Deepest Betrayal, Thief of Sanity, Brainstealer Dragon, Triton Shorestalker, and Slitherblade. Lots of ways to sneak in and deal damage. Supporting our plan, we've also got Panharmonicon, Felix Five Boots, and Doppelgang. Doppelgang is here less as a sudden I win card and more for shenanigans. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 53 mana sources, split between 38 lands and 15 pieces of ramp. Heavy, I know, but that was always the plan. 16 pieces of card advantage, 15 pieces of interaction and spot removal, 3 board wipes, 6 pieces of graveyard hate in Bajuka Bog, Deathrite Shaman, Return to Nature, Commit Memory, Scavenging Ooze, and Dayuthi Voidwalker, 1 sudden I win card in Villainous Wealth. Our deck creates a lot of mana. We don't go infinite, which is fine, but we will have tons of mana. Every turn, we should hit a land drop, plus our extra ramp. 2 lands per turn if Dryad of the Elysian Grove is on board. Remember, Gonti says play, not cast, so if we steal a land off the top of our opponent's libraries, we can play those lands. Which means that we can cast Villainous Wealth for a lot of mana and steal half of someone's deck if we wanted to. I suppose that also means we can do silly things with Doppelgang as well, but that requires even more mana to be truly absurd. At the end of the day, a theft deck is only as powerful as the decks it is stealing from. Which is why I focused on creatures that would draw us cards, as well as creatures that were big enough to close out the game. Archon of Cruelty and Brainstealer Dragon each deal a lot of damage as the games go on. I hope Roxy has a lot of fun playing this deck against her husband. Do you have a Gonti Canny Acquisitor deck? What's your secret deck tech? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made, or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Borgie, Nazwin, Conga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, William Pye, Kazaris, Buxu, Patrick, Naffy, Noodle, Tiz, Art, Richard, Devin, Lucius, Sint, and Om. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.